Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Well, I'm Some Dumb Guy, and welcome to episode 30 of SumDumWatch, my weekly series chronicling my watches for the week from my physical media library and theatrical attendances, whatever I happen to go to. This week we are covering April 21st through today, April 27th. It's a busy video day. This is my third recording back-to-back as I just got back from the theater, got a video review under wraps, and another one from a couple days ago. We got some dumb watch to do and a small unboxing to do next after the fact, so some dumb exhaustion. What have y'all watched this week? I'm about to dive into my watches. Please, by all means, share what you have watched from your own library, or not. If you do that stupid streaming thing, you can talk about that too. Did you go to the theater and just see anything? Hey, let me know. But for the moment, what do we have? A rewatch of something I haven't seen since it was new in the 1990s, 96 maybe. We have Event Horizon on 4K. This is Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill, as well as Jolie Richardson, and I believe we have, oh gosh, Kathleen Quinlan, all solid in this movie. I think there's a couple other recognizable faces, but names I am sorry to say do not know. Event Horizon, of course, is the story of a space rescue mission gone bad when the stranded ship they are going to rescue way out Neptune way had a little bit of misadventure bending space to do some traveling, and it bent its space into a new dimension and brought back something sinister. Is the ship alive? That's the premise, and it's unhappy and it likes to kill people. This movie is silly. I don't strongly dislike it. I actually kind of did the first time I saw it. I thought it was kind of pointless. Now I just find it silly. I can't take it seriously. I tried. It doesn't really work for me on that level as a horror type film. If anything, this is more of a comedy that's gruesome than anything else. But yeah, 1997, this sucker comes in. It's only 95 minutes. Maybe it would have benefited from being longer. I don't know. You got this one character, for example, the silliness. Gets blown off the ship in an explosion. He's out doing an EV walk. And he's floating away in this debris. Now, these two ships are in low orbit over Neptune, seemingly somewhat within the atmosphere, or at least it appears to be. This guy gets blown from the explosion so far away that what you're looking at Neptune and the distance it is from him, the planet, it's considerable. And he decides that it's going to be a real bright idea to return to the ship using his oxygen supply to purge as thrust to get back. And to say nothing of the fact that he wouldn't have had enough air in his suit to do that, he has no visual frame of reference. They don't have any equipment on them as far as a guidance system goes. He just, I'm going to go that way. And you're looking at this planet. I mean, maybe Neptune's like maybe this big. I don't know. But you're nowhere close. You're miles upon miles upon miles away from this ship at this point. And he thinks he's going to actually thrust his way back. Well, spoiler alert, he does. In a comedic way. And he's still got enough air to breathe by the time he gets there. At that point, suspension of disbelief is out the window. And again, I guess you could enjoy the film. It's a little bit zany, but never, ever going to be able to take that one seriously. Hey, buddy. Buddy's come in for a visit. He's now officially living here, it looks like. He's still technically living in the catio, except for when I'm home, I give him free access to come in and out. He's adapting very well. It's been 3 weeks since I've had a spraying incident, but he's Today's Sunday. He's been living in here with me since Tuesday. And then there's Sugar, of course. She's if hit and miss. But he keeps rediscovering the toys. I love watching him play. It's such a joy to know he's having a good time. He's having fun. He's overall happy. His leg is healed. Don't you pee there. Hey, hey. Did you just pee? After I just praised you? Huh? Sorry for that interruption there. I'm explaining and praising Buddy's virtues and everything, and he's over here playing in the pile of toys, and as I'm looking over there, it sure looked like he was squatting ready to pee on the pile. He's done that twice in the time that I've been looking after him, bringing him in. This time, it looked like he was about to squat. I was able to stop him, if assuming that's what he was going to do. I don't know. They said from Tuesday to Sunday, I haven't had a single incident, and I've been able to leave him to do his thing and go about his business, and I haven't had to watch him at all anymore. So I'm really hoping that's not what he was about to do. I hope so, because we've been doing so well. And I cleared off the pile of toys, checked them all out. They're all dry, and then he watched me do that, and then he went back outside. Now Sugar is hanging out there, checking out the aftermath. Anyway, in preparation for this week's movie release and theatrical viewings coming from my little personal 2-pack, I rewatched The Accountant. It's my little 2-pack of The Accountant and Paycheck, starring Ben Affleck. And wanted to refresh my memory on this one before I went in for the sequel, which I did tonight. Hadn't seen this since it was new, and I don't think I'd actually ever watched my physical copy. This movie was from 2016, so yeah, it's 8-9 years old, and I hadn't seen it in almost that long. So I thought, you know what? I should really get a refresher course, because honestly, I didn't even remember that John Bernthal was in the first film at all. Still really enjoyed the first film. Great stuff. Great rewatch, and really helped going back in for the sequel tonight. It's an end of an era this week. Watched this documentary, Frank Capra, Mr. America. This is the last final film for my Frank Capra at Columbia box set. It's 93 minutes. This documentary was made in 2023, I believe I saw when I was watching it, but it's got a 2024 copyright date on the package here. This gives an overall overview of his life from about age 6, when he and his family emigrated here from Sicily, until I believe early 70s. They don't really talk about any of his life after then. They don't talk about his passing. They've got excerpts, interviews with him, describing his early days, growing up, his childhood, his education, coming into Hollywood in the early silent era, what he did, how he rose to stardom, his highs, his lows, his association with the U.S. government during World War II, creating, directing propaganda films while he away from Hollywood, and then returning to Hollywood afterwards, and the changes in his career and his filmmaking, and his eventual sad downfall. Overall, I'd say this documentary was solid up to the point where certain participants decided to make things political. First red flag was when this gentleman, whom I'm not even going to name because he pissed me off, was talking about how Frank Capra loved to make human films, particularly during the dark days of the Depression, and how it impacted people on certain levels, and how he would focus on the downtrodden and trying to uplift them. But then this little bastard swings in about how Frank Capra's films were too white, and how he liked to focus on the whiteness. And I'm like, Frank Capra is Sicilian, Italian. He's not white. And that's repeatedly acknowledged through this documentary. You know, and then of course the whole McCarthy era thing. So it turns into some political game, and it's not really what I would have wanted from this. So I soured on this documentary quite a lot. Sugar. Somebody wants in her bag. You guys might get to see this. Go back in your bag, Sugar. Huh? Go in there. Go in. There you go. Curl up in your bag. Good girl. And in she goes. She's cute. What I wanted was a retrospective on the man's life, his career, his motivations, some insights, which I got. I didn't need the rest. It's all about the man, the life, and his art. That's where he should be kept, and what's we restricted. So I'm thinking now, that's all said and done. This has been a weekly adventure. 21 titles, 22 weeks total for me because I skipped a week. That was a long-term adventure for me. I think it might be time to do like a post-mortem on that box set. I did the unboxing and initial impressions on it. I've kind of touched base a little bit on each film as I've gone through each week. Maybe something to wrap it all up for a future idea video. Maybe. Well, we have this. We're on season 8 of Seinfeld. We are on disc 3. Let's check my episode list to see where we're at here. We are about to approach episode 20 out of 22. Not much left here before we start the final season, season 9. As I'm discussing and mentioning in all of my videos right now, because I am on the verge of finishing that up, and I really like having an ongoing TV series in the rotation for my weekly watches. I would like my viewers' help in choosing my next TV series to go through. I have a large TV library here at home, and I would like to solicit suggestions from you, my viewers, as to what I should possibly explore next. Now, obviously, I'm not going to provide a list of everything I own. There's a lot I own. There's still a lot I want to buy. If you have any suggestions for me, by all means, please throw them out. If it's something I own or something I'm intending to buy and it's something I haven't actually watched through in its entirety yet, I'm going to take that one into consideration depending on how many suggestions I get, and I'll pick a winner and we'll roll with it. I have more TV shows in my library that I have not watched than I have watched, and according to my stats on Blu-ray.com, I have either complete or incomplete 158 different TV series. More unwatched than watched. So the odds are pretty good someone's going to touch on something that I have or that I want to have and have not yet watched, at least not in its entirety. So please participate if you wish. Recommendations and suggestions. Word box. Please, por favor. So, theatrical time. Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. I went in for a good old time review, pending or already posted because it's been recorded now. I went and saw Sinners, new vampire flick, starring Michael B. Jordan in twin brother roles in Mississippi. Kind of a remake of From Dusk Till Dawn, if you know what I mean. Lots of similar tropes, lots of similar story beats. I had a good time with it. I liked it. I will probably own it. Really disappointed the physical release isn't matching the theatrical poster, though. I think the theatrical poster is kind of badass, and the physical releases, the standard 4K, is generic as hell. It goes with a pattern of a ensemble cast group picture thing that I really find tired. The steelbook is a little bit better, but I don't do steelbooks. I don't like steelbooks. I don't want to own any more steelbooks other than what I've already got. I reject them. I think they're stupid. I think they're pointless. I think they've lost their allure, their novelty, anything that made them special, because now anything is a steelbook. Why? Anyway. Tonight, like I said, I have returned from the theater within the last hour, and I have watched Me, the Accountant Squared, as they show on screen. Everywhere else is just The Accountant 2. Fun popcorn flick. Not too deep. Not too blurry. Here I am. Good time. My thoughts on both these reviews to be posted, or already are, depending on the order in which I edit all of these. I have too many videos to film tonight. I don't know what order they're going to go up. This is the only one that's as timely as I'd like, although film reviews should be when the movies are relatively new. They have value there, more value. So, again, that's it for me. What'd you watch this week? Home media, screaming, theaters. What'd you partake in? What'd you think of what I partook in? Do you have any viewing recommendations for me? Not just my little TV suggestion request, but just in general. I got many movies. Some of your recommendations I might already have. Others I appreciate. Suggestions to look into for future purchases. Speaking of which, we're going to record an unboxing, or unpackaging, I guess, in this case, because there's no box. Thank you all. Good night. Bye-bye.
Alan.